is a lot of new and novel equipment that goes with beekeeping. Some of it you'll remember from elementary school when they taught you about bees, things like bee suits and bee hives. I'll just walk through the equipment you would typically get with a kit if you bought a kit from one of those catalog companies to get started, and then I'll do a little bit of a discussion on the equipment you might replace that equipment with, because sometimes it's not the best equipment first time around. Probably one of the most important things we have in beekeeping is a smoker, and smoke is used to calm the bees. We don't entirely know why it works as well as it does, but you burn something like sisal twine without any kind of insecticide or fungicide in it, or my favorite, which is coffee bags I get from Java Joe's, a local coffee roaster. They are nice, smoky, long-lasting materials to put into a smoker. And when we inspect the bees, we just poof a little smoke on them, and it stops them from communicating with one another. So if one gets excited, it can't tell its sisters about the fact it's excited. And it also makes them eat for some reason. We don't know why, but a bee that's eating and full of honey is a calm bee. So that's an important piece of beekeeping equipment. You can tell it takes some abuse, and it's much loved over the years. Getting a smoker started can be a challenge. That's something you'll learn from your mentor, but I recommend getting something like a propane torch. And some people can do it with a match, not me. I need a propane torch. Another key piece of equipment when working with bees is a hive tool. You can buy several different shapes and sizes. You might want to try a few and see what you like. This is my favorite, the Easy Pry. This is used because bees love to stick things together in nature, and so you will be prying them apart and cleaning them off with the hive tool. So when you go to your hives, those are the two primary pieces of equipment for working the bees that you'll have. Now, another very important piece of equipment, especially for a new beekeeper, is your protective gear. If you're nervous about working your bees, if you're scared of your bees because you don't want to be stung, then get really good protective gear, and then you can be almost immune to it. I can work 50 beehives in a day with my suit on and never get stung. Now that's a little bit because I have practice working with them, but it also says something about the quality of the gear. When you get your kit, you'll probably get a hood like this, which will just cover your head, and it'd be up to you to get some light colored long sleeve shirts and pants in order to discourage the bees from noticing you. The more you look like a bear, that is dark and fuzzy, the more problems you'll have. So the best thing to do when you're working bees is to be light colored and smooth. And that's what these will do for you. This is the least expensive, and as I say, what will probably come with your kit. The next move up expense-wise would be a bee jacket. And I would recommend that you just go ahead and replace that helmet, if you get one, with something like a bee jacket. This will protect most of the sensitive areas on your body, and it's easier to use with this style hood. And all of these gaps and things will be closed by Velcro, so that the bees, who are very good at getting inside of things, can't get in. And now my head's protected. I'm going to tighten up the sleeves with my Velcro here, and they can't go up my sleeves, and I should have a tightening here so that they can't get up the jacket. This is what I recommend as the mid-price solution. The one I'm wearing is a little bit more expensive because it has this airflow fabric, but you can just get a canvas one if you're working a couple of hives in your backyard. It will give you a lot more confidence to have a good bee suit. Now, what I wear from day to day is a full-length bee suit. One reason I do this is because beekeeping can be sticky and dirty, and instead of having to change my clothes all the time, I can just wash my bee suit. But this makes me relatively immune to the bees. if I'm dressed in this suit, so I can be calm, cool, and collected no matter how upset the bees get generally. Another piece of equipment that comes with a kit very often is a pair of leather gloves like this. And these gloves are very difficult to work bees in. They're designed to be so thick that the bees can't sting through them, but because they're thick, you have trouble manipulating and you end up squishing more bees than you want to. What I recommend you replace these with is some of these nitrile gloves. They have nice long, that one's broken. You can reuse them many times. Of course, I pull out one that's not in good shape. And they will go up your sleeve and tuck under your sleeve. Bees, you would think, could sting through that, but they just choose not to. They don't think that smooth plasticky surface is something worthy of stinging. So this will give you a lot of confidence, and you have a lot of touch and feel when you're using these gloves. You can also get a cheaper food service one if you want. And it's nice if your hands get sticky. You can just change your gloves and wash them and reuse them. So that's it might be tough to get these days given the COVID-19 things going on, but hopefully they are available.